All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking what honestly feels like a modern superpower. I mean, imagine being able to master incredibly complex subjects quickly, literally just by learning how to properly explain them to someone else. We're talking accelerated learning, deep comprehension, and crystal clear communication. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the absolute core of our entire journey today boils down to one undeniable fact. The Feynman technique works. Seriously, I am so pumped to unpack this for you, because once you get a handle on this method, the way you learn and share information is going to fundamentally change. Let's get to it.
So, think about this specific question for a second. Can you explain me this? If you spent literally any time on YouTube learning channels or scouring forums like Stack Exchange, you've probably seen someone type this exact phrase when they're desperately begging for help with a tricky concept. Now, it's a super common grammatical slip-up, especially for non-native English speakers or anyone translating directly from a language where that sentence structure is, totally normal. But this actually sets up our starting point perfectly. While explain me this is technically incorrect in English, because we need that little preposition to make it explain this to me, here's the real kicker. People might struggle with the grammar of adding that tiny word too, sure, but they struggle infinitely more with the actual execution of explaining complex concepts clearly. I mean, grammar aside, how do you actually take a super dense, complicated idea out of your own brain and place it perfectly into someone else's?
Well, to figure that out, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The art of explaining, 2. 4 steps to mastery, 3. The power of simplicity, 4. Why the technique works, and 5. Everyday applications.
All right, Section 1, The Art of Explaining, Richard Feynman's Method.
Now, this whole art of explaining is deeply tied to the legacy of Nobel laureate Richard Feynman. The guy wasn't just a brilliant physicist, he was practically legendary for being a master at taking completely dense, intimidating topics and just demystifying them. His core philosophy? It was profound, but honestly, it was so simple. Complexity and heavy jargon usually just mask a fundamental lack of true understanding. Basically, if you're relying on massive, complicated words, you probably don't really know what you're talking about. So the Feynman technique is essentially a method for learning a new skill or complex concept by identifying gaps in your knowledge and explaining the topic in its absolute simplest form. The golden rule you absolutely have to remember here is that if you cannot explain a topic to a 12-year-old using words they'd easily understand, you don't actually get it yourself. The whole illusion of knowledge gets stripped away the exact second you try to simplify it.
To really hammer this idea home, let's look at a pretty powerful quote highlighted by the team over at Farnham Street. Mortimer Adler put it perfectly. He said, "The person who says he knows what he thinks but cannot express it usually does not know what he thinks." Ouch, right? But it brilliantly illustrates why clear writing and speaking are the ultimate, totally unforgiving tests of your own knowledge. You just can't hide behind this vague sense of, "Oh yeah, I kind of know that," when you're suddenly forced to articulate an idea out loud or onto a completely blank page.
Moving right along to Section 2, 4 Steps to Mastery, the Feynman Framework. Let's break down the exact 4-step framework you can start implementing today to actually master a subject. Step 1. Choose and study a concept. Literally start with a blank page and just write down every single thing you know about it. Step 2. Teach it to a 12-year-old. This is the fun part, where you write out your explanation using the absolute simplest language possible. And what's super interesting here is that writing things down in Step 2 ruthlessly reveals your mistakes. You're going to stumble, you'll find yourself desperately wanting to use industry jargon, but those exact stumbles lead you right into Step 3. Identify and fill knowledge gaps. You have to go back to the source material and figure out what you missed. And finally, Step 4, simplify and use analogies. You take that newly refined understanding and distill it even further.
Which brings us to Section 3, The Power of Simplicity. Overcome the curse.
So that 4th step of the technique, the simplification part, is honestly often the biggest hurdle. It demands immense clarity. And ironically enough, it can be the absolute hardest part for true experts to achieve because they suffer from what's called the curse of knowledge. They literally forget what it's like to not know the basics. But if we look at some fantastic tactics shared by Algocademy, we can see that the best communicators always start with the big picture before they even think about diving into the weeds. Then they break that complex idea down into smaller, totally digestible parts. And crucially, they relate the new, scary information to prior knowledge, basically things the listener already totally understands.
Let's look at a concrete example. An algorithm is like a recipe for solving a problem. This is brilliant because it perfectly illustrates starting with the big picture and relating it back to prior knowledge. Instead of immediately hitting someone over the head with technical jargon about data structures or computational complexity, you ground them in something they're totally familiar with, like baking a cake or cooking dinner. It instantly lowers that barrier to entry.
Or consider this specific analogy. Variables in programming are like labeled boxes storing different items. I absolutely love this one. It shows exactly how taking a highly abstract coding concept and comparing it to a physical everyday object builds a sturdy bridge between the known and the unknown. Look, a 12-year-old might have absolutely no clue what a variable is, but they definitely know how to throw a toy in a cardboard box and slap a label on it.
Algo Academy actually provides a few more awesome rapid-fire simplification tactics we can use here. First, tell a story. For instance, you could explain the programming concept of recursion by talking about opening those Russian nesting dolls until you reach the tiniest one inside. Or use real-world examples, like explaining Big O notation by estimating how long it takes to find a specific book in a tiny one-room library versus a massive city-sized one, which if you've ever lost a book in a library, you know is an absolute nightmare. Or even use interface comparisons, like explaining an API as the buttons on a vending machine. You don't need to know the engineering of how the machine actually drops the chips, you just press the button and boom, you get your snack. We humans are just naturally drawn to stories and relatable physical examples.
All right, Section 4, Why the Technique Works, the Cognitive Science.
We've talked a lot about the how, but I really want to prove to you that this isn't just some neat little productivity hack. I keep saying the Feynman technique works, and it works because it is a rock-solid methodology backed by serious cognitive science. Drawing on some really great insights from WhisperFlow, let's walk through the direct correlation between Feynman's steps and actual psychological benefits. When you explain a concept to others, you're engaging in what's called self-explanation, which literally forces your brain to actively connect the dots. When you write from memory, you're using retrieval practice. Think of that like hitting the gym for your memory muscles. When you simplify complex ideas, you're chunking, which massively reduces mental overload by feeding your brain bite-sized pieces it can actually handle. And when you identify your own weak spots, well, you're practicing metacognition. That's thinking about your own thinking, and it forces you to spot and correct your own flaws. It's powerful stuff.
And finally, Section 5, Everyday Applications. Use it daily. Let's take all of this completely out of the theoretical realm. How do we actually apply the Feynman technique to our everyday professional and personal lives? WhispFlow outlines several highly actionable use cases for this. You can use it to clarify complex projects, ensuring your team actually understands the vision instead of just nodding along. You can write way better company documentation by writing as if you're teaching a total beginner on their very first day. You can strip the awful jargon out of client communications so they finally understand the actual value you're providing. Heck, you can even use it to streamline your daily emails. Just simplifying your points before hitting send drastically reduces misunderstandings and those endless, painful back-and-forth threads. Ultimately, simplifying your daily communication massively increases the value of your actual contributions.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What complex topic are you going to explain to a 12-year-old today? Look, the Feynman technique works, for sure, but it only works if you actually use it. I'm challenging you to make this a daily habit. Identify something right now that you're struggling to grasp, grab a blank piece of paper, and start simplifying. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep learning.